the GNU, which is the government that's running South Africa, because South Africa is now governed by a multi-party alliance, and they call themselves the GNU, the Government of National Unity, and we call them the Government of National Division. They have come up now under this Ramaphosa's leadership that they are preparing to spend 700 million rands on so-called national dialogue. That's nearly 1 billion rand. Not on housing, not on food security, not on infrastructure, just talk.
We have received a draft budget from the preparatory task team. What we could say firstly is that democracy is not cheap. Building a nation is very costly, and that's why the next thing we're going to do, emerging from this work, we're going to go to the Inter-Ministerial Committee where we present the draft budget. Then we workshop that budget, and just to give you a sense, I mean, just to pull the provinces, the municipalities, you're looking probably estimation of more than 700 million. So that's quite a lot of money. So we just need to make sure that we deal with all those issues. But this includes the following. If you take the states SA in terms of reaching out to people through their processes of numeracy and doing counting in the country, those are some of the existing resources that the state has. So you might be tapping into those existing resources so that what you then call operational costs might be then taken into other existing programs of the state, so that indeed no one is left behind, using also what the Home Affairs has, so you can reach out as many South Africans as possible. The other issue, of course, is the digital communication. That as well will be another method through the work that already exists, whether through GCIS, but also working with the media, as you heard in the statement that there is a communication work stream, and that communication work stream will pull together various existing initiatives.
This week, just yesterday, the President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, visited flood victims in the Eastern Cape. He blamed climate change, but said nothing about the lack of drainage, housing, or basic services in a province that keeps voting for ANC and getting ignored. This is not an apartheid problem, this one, it's an ANC problem, it's poor governance. These people were living in these floodplain areas, haven't been removed. 30 years down the track, ANC kept giving money to build houses in floodplain areas that were known to be floodplain areas. Now there's flooding going on there, and instead of actually coming up with a good infrastructure plan for that province that keeps voting for the ANC, the President of South Africa, the ANC candidate, Ramaphosa, Cyril Ramaphosa, told the people who were mourning for the loss of their loved ones for the floods in South Africa yesterday that the floods were the cause of the climate change, and he will go out there and go and report to the colonialist leader and tell them there's the floods going on in South Africa.
Disaster for us, which is caused by climate change. Ngoba siqhelanga lento ukuthi there must be floods during winter. During winter we expect the cold as well as snow here in the Eastern Cape. now that we are confronting floods, just goes to show the severity of the issue of climate change. And the same thing with regard to floods is also happening in KZN. So our two provinces, Eastern Cape and KZN, are now prone to continuous annual disasters that are causing a lot of pain and suffering amongst our people, where a number of people are dying, but also where destruction happens in their homes and their homes are swept away, and government facilities also get destroyed, roads, hospitals, and schools and other facilities. This is now our new reality as the people of South Africa, that we must now be more alive to the fact that climate change is now a real serious challenge that we must confront and deal with effectively. It affects our health, our education, our infrastructure facilities, our housing, and also our economic infrastructure. The problem is ibankulu, and we have decided that yes, we are going to raise it more globally. Eyona into esizawuyenza njengohulumeni, sizawenza sure ukuthi uncedo lube khona. Asifuni ukuthi nihlale apha kule ndawo ixesha elide njengoba uPremier eshilo. Kuzawenza i-assessment yokubona ukuthi ningancedwa kanjani masinyane kulezi indlu zenu, and futhi nobomi benu. Abanye benu nilahlekelwe izinto ezininzi, izinto zasendlini. Abanye benu nilahlekelwe futhi nezinkomo zenu, nomagusha wenu, and so forth. Bivanjalo. So sizawubona ke ukuthi nincedwa kanjani.
How humiliating. I mean, I think we need to have a discussion here, Mzansi. It's time to have a meeting, a family meeting about Ramaphosa and the ANC and all this GNU Ntontoni stuff. The GNU Ntontoni, it's time to have a meeting about them. This is disgusting. So meanwhile, while he goes and talk about this, there's a report that 155 children died of malnutrition in South Africa. That report comes from Minister of Health. 155 children in South Africa died of malnutrition. The president of the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, under this GNU Ntontoni yari yari, wants to spend 700 million rands on a talk. Just to talk. The audacity. Children are dying, communities are drowning, but the ANC under this GNU wants to talk, to spend 700 million rands, nearly 1 billion rand, on talking. South Africans do not need another 1 billion rand commission. They had one before by Zondo Commission. They need food, they need infrastructure, they need action. We want our country back, and you need to be working out and removing that preamble and making sure the country's constitution reflects the aspiration of its people. Alright, that's what elected for the GNU Ntontoni. Because if you're not, it's time for all of us South African citizens to have a family meeting about the GNU. Whether it's actually serving the country or whether we should go back to the poll, because it was a hung parliament. They can remove this government and then we go and vote again, because they're not delivering of anything. They haven't done anything 1 year on since this government was formed. There is no single legislation that this government has actually reformed and made it effectively and changed, and actually changed enough so that it has a positive impact on its citizen. Not change enough for Elon Musk, to have Elon Musk's Starlink that many South Africans don't want, because they don't want him there. Don't want him threatening them with Starlink. Laws that are going to benefit all of South Africans. There's no single one that I've read. Meanwhile, when you look at the White House, you can see Donald Trump, even though you like it or you don't like him, he's working. At least he's working. At least he's trying. At least he's trying something. Even though it's chaotic, it's all over the show, at least he's trying. Alright? I mean, it's time to have a family meeting, Zanzi. Family meeting. You know what I mean, family meeting. Alright? If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Until next time, see ya.